What's up everybody, we got another shoe review for you. We're gonna take a look at the Innovate F-Lite G300. So this is my first short-term review on this one. I've only had it for a couple months, been wearing it in the gym, doing workouts in it, running, lifting, all the different things. And so far so good. I mean, Innovate is a proven brand in the CrossFit community. Some of the features of this shoe is that it's got a 6mm drop from the heel to toe, so a little bit more than the typical 4 that we're used to seeing, or a 0 drop, which I like that. If you saw our last shoe review on the Go Ruck shoe, it has an even higher drop, an 8mm drop, which I'm a big fan of. So like the 6mm drop, for me, if it's a little bit higher, that's better. Poor ankle flexibility, so helps out there. Super lightweight, so this thing only weighs, as you might understand by the title, 300 grams. It's a super lightweight shoe, so it feels good for running, doesn't feel like you're carrying around a lot compared to some other shoes, so very, very light. And then again, the proven durability of an Innovate shoe. If you go back to 2010, if you research some very old CrossFit videos or some very old videos with some OGs, Chris Spieler, some of those guys, and I know when I first joined my CrossFit gym, a lot of people were wearing Innovate shoes in the CrossFit gym, and that was because they were super good at running and they were a very durable shoe. Innovate's more of a running company. That's kind of what they specialize in terms of footwear, but they also made a very durable shoe that happened to not really get that torn up on rope climbs. So even back to 2010, they had really great footwear for the CrossFit community. So when I put this on, the first thing that I noticed is that it actually has a fairly wide toe box. Okay, it actually cinches down really well with this cage, the plastic cage around the side, so it cinches down on your foot really nice, even though it is more of the, again, one giant piece in terms of that sock kind of feeling. There's not a really dignified or separate tongue. It's just all kind of one piece on the upper, but it does cinch down really well. But the one thing that I did notice is that the toe box is pretty wide. I have typically a wider foot compared to most, and so my foot fits pretty nice in here. The one thing I might have done is gone a half size down in sizes just because of that wide toe box. I've read a couple of different reviews where people said they went a half size up, so it might just depend on you. If you're thinking about getting this shoe, maybe get 2 sizes and return the one that doesn't fit quite as well and keep the one that does. But that's one of the things I noticed in terms of the fit, is that toe box is a little bit wider, but it is ultra comfortable. This upper material is very lightweight, again, only 300 grams for the total shoe, so once you slide this thing on, it's gonna feel very nice on your foot. All right, so next thing we're gonna talk about price point. This one comes in at $150, so a little bit more than some of the other shoes, but pretty much right there in the same range. And again, you get a great, very durable shoe, and it also comes in 6 different colorways. So you have a lot of options in terms of the look of this shoe, and they did a really good job with the colorway. Again, it's not super flashy with the insignia on the side, just has their little Innovate thing there. I like that just on one side. There's not a whole bunch of branding everywhere on it, but the look of the shoe and kind of the two-tone color, they mix up really well. Check out their website to kind of check out some of the other colors, but big fan of the colorways. $150 price point puts it kind of right in there in the upper range of any other CrossFit shoe or any other functional fitness shoe out there. All right, I'm gonna run down my big 3, the runability, the durability, and the stability of the shoe. So the big 3 abilities that I look for. Runability, you're gonna have to go 8 to 9 out of 10 on this. Running company, they make great, comfortable running shoes for all different kinds of things, fell running, trail running, all those different things. And so they've interwoven some of that technology, obviously, into this shoe, makes it super comfortable to run in. I would easily take this out for a 5K, no problem with that, especially with the cushion that it's got, both in the heel and the forefoot, that nice drop protecting your Achilles a little bit. The stability of the shoe, I'm gonna give a 6 to 7 out of 10, probably closer to a 7, and that's just because this upper material is super loose. It doesn't really lock in your foot like, say, the Nano does. Their upper's a little bit heavier, and that actually keeps your foot in place a little bit more. That wide toe box might surprise some people in terms of the stability, but again, that's a personal preference for me in particular. I like to have a little more tightness on the upper wrapping around my foot. So the stability, I'm gonna go probably around a 7. The heel cup and everything around the heel and the lacing system, again does a good job there, but just running, cutting, twisting, turning, moving around, kind of push out on the sides a little bit on this. But again, it's not a huge issue, but it is something that I'm just gonna dock just a couple points there on the stability. Durability is gonna be an 8 to 9 out of 10. Again, probably closer to the 9 based on the fact that they've been making shoes since 2010 that people have been wearing in the CrossFit gym. gym, and they had probably some kind of rope tech before anybody else did. So they've kind of mastered that, as well as most other companies have. So I've had it on the rope a handful of times. It bites down well. There's no serious wear and tear on any of the pieces where the rope's really rubbing. And then durability wise, again, they come from a running background. It's gonna be able to handle the abuse of the outside elements and those different things as well. So definitely closer to right around 9 out of 10 on these for sure on the durability. Again, I just got them out of I've only had them for a month or two, really wearing them, so we'll need a little bit of a longer term test to really test that durability, but right now I would be safe to say 8 to 9, closer to the end on the 9 scale for durability. Last two things I want to talk about. One, I obviously do this test every time, is just kind of how difficult it is to roll that toe up. And one nice thing that I notice is right at the edge of the shoe, it's pretty simple. Like, it's very, very bendy there. That's going to give you a lot of room to move around in terms of when you're running. It's going to conform to what your foot wants to do on the road. But then when you start working your way back more into the middle of the shoe, it gets a little bit more stiff, which I actually like for the gym use, for box jumps, for lifting, for all those things. So it's a nice mix between being like the Nike Free kind of Metcon and the Nano in terms of the flexibility of the shoe and the sole. And the sole and the bottom of the shoe is the outer on the sole is going to be one other thing we really want to key on. It's got a unique feature that no other shoe has. It's blended with a material called graphene. You can look up on the website what all that means in terms of the technology of it, but what I can say of it is that it grips incredibly, incredibly well. So no matter what surface you're on, whether it's wood, rubber, I don't have a pegboard in here right now, but I'm imagining for things like pegboard climbs and even probably on the rope, if the rope gets under there at all, it's gonna grab onto whatever surface that you're running on, moving on, or doing an activity on. So for Olympic weightlifting, jumping those feet from the jumping stance out to the side stance, it's going to grip on the rubber floor really, really well, or better than a lot of other shoes, just because of that technology. That's also going to add to the durability of the bottom of the shoe in terms of wear and tear over the longevity of the shoe. So again, that higher price point comes in for a reason, right? You've got some of this really cool tech in here, specifically with the bottom of the sole, that's very unique to Innovate. They did a great job by putting that on there, and it definitely gives you an advantage when you're in the gym doing different movements. All right, that does it for the Innovate F-Lite G300. If you guys got any other questions on this shoe, throw it down in the comments below. We'll do a longer term review of all the shoes that I've been reviewing in this short term review within the next couple of months, probably sometime after the Open, hopefully in the summertime when I get a little bit more use on these and can report back. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.